Hey, Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Hakodash. Thou honor some of my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and the Kazakh Shalom to the hopeful elect. This lesson was inspired by a video the elder apostle Ramlab did. The serpent is putting the final stranglehold on the globe. So I had a couple precepts on that, and then he went into a list that reminded me of the Quartering Act during the time of, the Revolutionary War. So that I'm going to get a couple precepts and go into that history a little bit. And Lord willing, this will be edifying. First one. Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. So the devil is Esau Edom, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. And he's going to come down with draconian measures. He's going to come down with the teeth, which, that's the bite force, the strength of an animal. And the teeth of Esau Edom is his military. He's been given the fatness of the earth, his kingdom, so he has power and dominion to a certain extent. He has bounds that he cannot pass. And at the height of his kingdom, he's going to try to continue to forward that plan of totalitarian control via the C-HIP. And it's going to squeeze out the last little bit of hegemony that he has left. We're starting to see with our very eyes, Deuteronomy 30:7. But I digress. It says, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So these prophecies are clearly jumping off the page. And Esau Edom is starting to become afraid. They watch the apostles. They watch brothers. So they know what time it is. That Isaiah 13, we're going to continue to shake the hand. We coming to the nobles with the internet videos as we talking to them to their face and let them know that you're not going to win. This is Job chapter 5, verse 12. It says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty. A device goes into a wicked plot or invention, a scheme. And the crafty is Esau Edom. Elites who run the shadow government, specifically you, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. What is an enterprise? An undertaking. To take, to seize, adventurous disposition. Readiness to undertake challenges, spirit of daring. A project or undertaking that is especially difficult, complicated, or risky, like having everybody with a RFID microchip. Having the whole world under complete obedience. That's a tall task, and he won't do it, bitch. Excuse my language. Hey, so. But it says a unit of economic organization or activity, systematic, purposeful activity. So going back to Job 5:13, it says, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, this devil, who the Lord let be wiser than Daniel. All the wisdom from Teman is going to be gone. Those represents the Germans, so-called Germans. So all that nuclear technology, all the technology the Lord gave you, those are the same thing that's going to destroy you. The same thing that is going to replicate the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua on the left-hand side via the chip. That's the same thing that's going to give you a grievous sore and cancer. And the same thing that's going to make 2/3 of our people ineligible for salvation. all the wicked devices that you've imagined. Brings up all the time. Think about wicked Haman. Those are the things you're going to experience. The gallows that were intended for Mordecai neck and the rest of Israel neck, you're going to be hanged on them spiritually. It says, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Froward is synonymous with profane, the things outside of the temple, wicked. And headlong means in a rush, in a reckless manner. So when people, have nothing to lose, eventually they're going to lose it, man. And that's the same state Esau's in. These prophecies are essentially backing him into a corner. He knows he has but a short time, so he has to act quickly. It's a whole state of hysteria and danger and fear and anger. The citizens feel it. Esau feels it too. The higher level Edomites. World War III is in everybody's conversation. We know through the Spirit Yahweh Shah is going to be back very soon. But these things have to happen. Job 20:22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. So right when he feel like he on top and the shit don't stink, straits is going to be a degree of difficulty or very narrow position. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him when he is about to fill his belly, when he's about to fulfill his plans of that enterprise. The Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. And that's the spirit, because we're leading up to World War III. All the nations are going to turn their back on America, and all the missiles are going to be pointed at them. Then on top of that, when the Lord comes back, the opposing sides of World War III are going to try to come together and fight the Lord. It's all vanity. They're going to fight the Lord and the host of heavens, which would be the chariots and the angels. So it's just all downhill from here. And call in like Yahweh Shah for giving us the spirit to see these things. And Lord willing, for the elect, the patience to endure until the end. And it's beautiful to see the downfall of our enemy. And it shall rain upon him while he is eating. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This was that list I was referring to, the elder apostle Rama went in. Executive orders applicable. Executive orders. The following orders now recorded in the Federal Register and therefore accepted by Congress as the law of the land can be put into effect at any time an emergency is declared. All communication media seized by the federal government. Seizure of all electrical power, fuels, including gasoline and minerals. Seizure of all foods, resources, farms, and farm equipment. Seizure of all kinds of transportation, including your personal car, control of all highways and seaports. Seizure of all civilians for work under federal supervision. Federal takeover of all health, education, and welfare. Postmaster General empowered to register every man, woman, and child in the United States. Seizure of all aircraft and airports by the federal government. So, Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So that's unrighteous, This is the same devil that oppresses a man, even a man in his heritage. This devil, for the sake of a war that he started, willing to take these measures. But this is why the men of Great Millstone, starting with the Apostle Dawn, are not surprised. And that's why we have to understand the history in order to understand the mystery. A similar play has been ran before. We did a little bit of research as a camp on this, and the Spirit had to come back. This reminds me of the Quartern Acts things that were going on. So the Quartern Acts were British parliamentary laws passed in 1765 and 1774 required American colonists to house and supply British troops, primarily intended to cut costs and enforce order after the French and Indian War, also like I said, Revolutionary War. The acts forced colonies to provide barracks, food, and later access to private buildings. These acts outraged colonists, directly contributing to the American Revolution by fueling the taxation without representation argument and prompting the Third Amendment. So, history is repeating itself, man. Ecclesiastes 3:15, that which had been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past. So certain concepts like regeneration, like certain souls being regenerated back on this earth, certain events happening over and over again. When we talk about the downfall of America, we talk about how most empires don't last past 250 years. These things let us know that certain things like war, love, wine, women, when it comes to certain knowledge, these things always come back. Why? Because those same spirits are coming back. All things line up with the scriptures. These scriptures allow us to see things very, very clearly. It doesn't make them easier. It just makes life clear and makes it easier to navigate through the spirit and not lean on your own understanding. And it's no coincidence that these acts, this legislation mirrors each other because America stems from Great Britain. Daniel 7:8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were the eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. So, the 3 horns, French, Spanish, and British, and the horn that came up out of them was America. An extension of that Roman Empire, which was diverse from all the other empires because they had a senate. They didn't have a monarchy. This is what made Rome diverse from the other beats, and then that spirit is here back in America, using their legislation, using their military to wreak havoc throughout the 4 corners of the earth. We know that America, I looked on ChatGPT, we know this information already, but what is the relationship between Great Britain and the United States today? Relationship between the UK, often informally called Great Britain, and the US today is one of the closest and most influential partnerships in the world. It's commonly referred to as the special relationship. You can read some of this. Deep military and security alliance, both in NATO, share intelligence through 5 Eyes. Militaries frequently train and operate together. Strong economic ties. Even after Brexit, political and diplomatic alignment, they often support similar positions on global issues. Leaders from both countries tend to coordinate closely on foreign policy. They work together in institutions like the UN. The cultural connections, shared language, similar legal and political traditions, massive cultural exchange. Think of how entertainment, entertainment, education, and even humor are between the two. Historical context, World War I, World War II, the First World, the Second World. Bottom line, these few bullet points right here. But then, you ask a rhetorical question. Didn't America stem from Great Britain? And yes, you go into the history about Jamestown and how these people were seeking freedom, quote unquote, but they are ultimately fulfilling prophecy because these were the same devils who discovered the land where people were there. You know, the 10 tribes. After the northern and southern kingdom split, this is where, the other tribes was. The northern kingdom was. The point being, America was established based off of this history right here, the 13 colonies. So bottom line, America didn't just randomly appear. It grew out of British colonies, then broke away and developed its own identity. So yeah. This Revelation 13:2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. That represents the Greek captivity. You can go back in Daniel 7:8. And Alexander the Great, the Greek, how swiftly he took over. That's why he's a leopard. And his feet were as the feet of a bear. That bear represents Russia. And the feet represent the end of a thing, just like the end of that statue in Daniel. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. The power of a lion comes from his mouth. And this lion represents Great Britain. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So we mention this because the feet, which represents Russia and the bear, these are the times that we're in now. World War III has commenced. So when we look at the scriptures and see the correlation, we break down the mystery after going into the history. We understand like how these different pieces come into play. The history, what's going on currently, and the prophecies to let us know what happens in the future paints the picture very, very clear. So there's no new thing under the sun, man. But guess what? Despite the enemy coming in like a flood, and I'm going to grab that real quick, the Lord is still going to protect us. Isaiah 59:19 says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood. Why? Because we brought out priest upon priest that they know that they have but a short time. There's certain things that they want to do before Yahweh Shai come crack the sky with the chariots. This day is meditating. He's meditating on this day. He on double Dutch mode on the right side of the Father, just waiting to wreak havoc. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. He's going to give certain men spiritual powers. We are being oppressed. This list right here, martial law, other forms of tyranny are on the horizon. But guess what? The Lord is going to allow us to lift up a standard, and he's going to save the elect from the thermonuclear destruction. So these are the things that we have to look forward to. I brought this out. This was an edifying lesson. Until next time, shalom.